Camera's on. I have to share a microphone because my microphone died. May you rest in peace. Okay. All right, we're gonna take a roll call vote. And Maureen de Beguer.
Here.
Bruce Dries is absent. David Furness. Absent. John Gray. Absent. Richard Handelsman.
Present.
John Hess.
Here.
Kelly Jansen. Absent. Bobby Levin.
Here.
And Joyce Reese.
Yes.
And the officers, David Israel's absent, Edward Grossman's absent, Dom Donaggio,
Here.
Stuart Richland,
Here.
Fausto Fabro,
Here.
Patricia is absent.
Absent.
David Boaz,
Here.
and I'm here. So, 5, there are 5 members here. And 9, so we do have a quorum.
We have a quorum?
Yeah, we have a quorum. 5 of 9.
Thank you. Any corrections to the minutes as presented? I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Joyce makes a motion, and Bobby Levin seconds it. Thank you. Miss Monica.
I'm gonna flip to later in the meeting, because we have a couple of people that need to get moving, so they're gonna go before me. We have Laura Coffey here this morning, and she's here to address, the release and hold harmless that we've talked about a couple of times in the last couple of months. She did consult with an outside attorney, and she can share that with you guys. And when she's finished, you had asked for specific information about some claims. So I have the updated information on filed claims and incident reports that actually didn't result in a claim, but where these claims occurred, and so to give you a little bit of perspective of what we've been dealing with for the last several years.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Laura.
Hi. I was asked to give my opinion on the merits of having every single owner and tenant sign a release to enter upon recreational facilities. And at the time, it was my opinion that that is not a worthwhile endeavor, nor would it be necessary or useful. I confirmed same with outside trial counsel, who is an expert in that area. And the reason being that we require release and hold harmless when people undertake activities that could be potentially dangerous and that are, for the most part, unsupervised. So sailing, the gym, those are places where people could be doing things that are inherently risky, and we want the understanding that when they undertake that task that they know they're doing it and they're telling us that they understand what they're doing and they're accepting that risk. Just walking on the rec facilities, you can't really waive can't really hold someone harmless for that. You know, there's nothing inherently dangerous about entering upon the property, and it wouldn't provide you any additional protection should that result in a slip and fall that goes to insurance, because the basic claim in all of those insurance cases is negligence. And a hold harmless, you can't hold someone harmless for negligence. So it undermines the purpose of the hold harmless in general. So basically, point is, it's not useful, and it would cause you guys so much like angst and effort that would wouldn't necessitate any sort of benefit to you. And it wouldn't provide you any additional protection than you already have.
The original intent was for people that do activities.
They already
Right.
sign a hold harmless. Everyone who does the gym, those types of activities, they do sign a hold harmless.
How many claims have we had people getting hurt in the gym?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I can address
We
that.
have one right now.
First of all, in this community, the last 3 contract years for our insurance policies, we've had 6 filed claims. Those filed claims, last year, there's only 2 of those open, and one of those was a fall in the party room, and the other one was a fall in Hastings. All the other claims weren't even on WPRS property, and they were dismissed. But there are a lot of incidents that happen that are reported always to our insurance company, but our current agent believes very differently than our previous agent, where the previous agent filed a claim for every single incident that happened. And the current agents don't operate that way. And you can see that clearly from the history of claims. 4 years ago, there were 30 claims filed in this community, and the year prior to that, there were 35. Versus the last 3 years, like I said, exactly 6 claims. Regarding the incidents that happened, but were never reported as a claim because it's not been necessary to do so yet, there were 24 incidents that occurred, and 58% of those incidents, or 14 of the 24, occurred on or around the main clubhouse or the gym, and they were simply slip and falls with no participation in any type of activities. 5 of them were in the Hastings gym, which we do have release and hold harmless. 2 of them were playing pickleball or petanque, and 3 of them were people falling either out of their chairs at the pool or fall while getting in or out of the pool. So the majority of the claims are not what you would think they are, being from physical activity. They're just simply slip and falls a lot of the time. So that's the information you asked for on the claims. I don't know if you need anything more specific than that.
Go ahead, Richard.
Most of the issue in Hastings revolves around the gym, but I recently was informed that after the aerobics classes, which are insured in the afternoons, there are dance clubs, not classes, and preparation for the resident talent show. I'm just wondering, what is the supervisor in the gym does not know in the afternoons who is in the aerobics room with those activities? So what is the insurance situation with line dancing or ballroom dancing or preparation for the residents' talent show in the afternoon in the gym, in the aerobics room?
Well, we have, the instructor has insurance.
Of the dance classes? Okay.
Well, anything that she does,
Okay.
you know, in that regard, because she's involved in many different things. And everything that's scheduled there should be on the security schedule so that everybody knows who's coming and going and who has a right to the space. Because we just don't have enough room here, and dancing happens to be one of
Right.
the most popular things. And it's line dancing, which takes up a lot of space. So anybody who's giving a class has insurance.
Okay.
There was no rehearsal for a resident show in,
No, but I know who Richard's referencing, and I believe she puts on skits and performances.
I'm in that group, so.
Yeah,
No, not the theater.
No, no, no.
They wear fancy.
The ballroom.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing anything for the residential, we're just rehearsing
Okay.
numbers
I'm just
between. Nobody even knows about what it
If
is.
someone in that
It's not what
activity,
you think.
if someone in activity falls on the aerobics floor, what's the insurance situation?
We have insurance, the instructors that give that. I mean, I had a woman this past year who forgot to take her medication. She suffers from vertigo. That morning, she forgot to take her medication, so she was on the mat and she was doing her stretching. And then when the instructor came in and was ready to start, she stands up and went right over. You know, thankfully the floor is padded and she fell, you know, on the pad, and mostly people are embarrassed. They're looking around to see who saw that, and, you know, they accept the blame as being their own while we still have to file a report.
Right.
Very few result in actual claims. We do have one open right now for the Hastings gym.
Thank you.
Eva,
Okay.
what about the participants in these dance classes? Do they sign a release?
As long as the instructor has the insurance, I didn't think they had to sign a release, but in the gym,
Well, if they're using the gym, they're covered by the hold harmless agreement that's already covering the gym.
right.
Because it's an activity occurring within the gym, it's a fitness-related activity, that hold harmless will cover all of that.
However, if they're having a line dance class in the clubhouse, I would think they would need to sign a hold harmless for that.
Okay, that's a good question. So now this is a club activity. This is not something that we offer, so you've got the
Oh,
club.
it's not a class.
No, we've got a club activity, and they have a lot of people. And so I need the space. I can't necessarily give them the party room, which is the only dance floor. So I put them there in the afternoon because I don't have classes.
So you don't have these type of events going on in the main clubhouse then?
I do where I can fit them in. Smaller, you mean club related? Yes, I have them here too.
But even classes, dance classes, or,
Anybody who's teaching a class that gets paid has to have insurance.
I understand that, I'm talking about the participants of the class, not the instructor.
No, if the instructor has the insurance, do they need to sign a release and hold harmless?
I don't think that's.
I'm not understanding
It's
that
two
now.
different things.
Eva, she's asking if the classes that are taught by the instructors for dance, so dance classes, are they held only in the gym, or do you also have dance classes held in the clubhouse? To use the clubhouse for dance classes, not clubs, dance classes, sponsored by WPRF. Yes. Yes.
Please distinguish between the gym and the aerobics room. They're two separate issues in Hastings.
I would argue that the way the hold harmless is written, the aerobics room is covered under the gym
Okay.
hold harmless.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with that. The dance class thing is a separate issue,
Right.
but
But the participants in the dance classes don't sign a hold harmless. And the dance clubs held in the aerobics room, am I correct in saying that?
well, there's two different things. We wouldn't have a reason to have someone execute a hold harmless for a club activity because we
Okay.
don't necessarily
All right.
control that, but in terms of dance classes sponsored by us, if that was something you wanted, I would say that that would be an acceptable use of a hold harmless. If you wanted additional hold harmless for when things are held outside of the gym. We do it sometimes for tennis lessons, things like that, it makes sense.
We don't give tennis lessons. If anybody had that question.
No,
Yep.
the other
Well,
Right.
like sailing activities, they have to,
sailing has a hold harmless, the wood shop has a hold harmless, like things that are inherently risky and there's room for participant injury beyond negligence, we have hold harmless.
We just need to distinguish between classes and clubs.
Correct.
And what is for each, and then the gym and the aerobics room.
Well, I think the aerobics room, I'm comfortable saying the aerobics room is under the auspice of the gym. That way the hold harmless is written, that includes that. But I would agree that dance classes being held in the clubhouse would necessitate a separate hold harmless for participation in that class, and that can easily be done.
Right. So I will say that we may have some people that are taking aerobics but don't use the gym, so there may not be a hold harmless. So we will make sure to, everybody that walks through the door into the aerobics room, we'll get them to fill out the form if they haven't already.
Yeah, that's what, they should be using that same form, because it covers both.
I'm just trying to clear up things.
No, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Well, since it was my idea, I would like to go on the record that I disagree that anybody that goes and plays shuffleboard or tennis or ping pong should have a hold harmless to protect the facilities.
I don't necessarily, that wasn't how it was presented to me.
I'm the one that presented it, that's the
Yeah.
way,
No,
it wasn't a broad picture of it, because when it came back, it covered every function that went into the building. That was not the intent. It was people that are playing tennis, ping pong, whatever games they're out there playing, that they could get hurt.
I don't necessarily disagree. That's not the question I was presented. I'm not arguing that that's not what you wanted. I'm just saying that's not what was presented to me.
Okay,
I don't necessarily disagree. If you wanted to include activities, that's fine. Entering upon the rec facilities, no. Participating in activities, sure.
I just thought that we needed a little more coverage, because I've seen people walking with a cane, get out of the car, and then go and play games.
Yeah, and I just don't want there to be any false expectation about
No.
what that hold harmless is gonna do for you. It is not a get out of jail free card. It will not cover negligence, which is again, the claim underlying every single insurance claim you have. It's that we were somehow negligent. We didn't have the right, ground. We didn't have the steps marked properly. We didn't have appropriate personnel, anything. It's all negligence.
Right.
That hold harmless won't include coverage for that, but
Right.
I don't find it unnecessary in those circumstances. And assuming Eva could find a way to implement how that would be executed, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But it will not stop anybody from actually suing if something happens.
No, absolutely.
No, in fact, I think everyone here is hopefully by now aware that people can sue for anything. Whether the suit survives, different story.
Right,
People can sue for and will sue for anything, so,
okay.
it's inherent litigation, but it just doesn't negate the negligence.
We'll go back and touch on this at a later point.
Okay?
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. Monica, what did you want to do next?
I thought I was gonna go.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Abby's going next.
Abby's going?
2 minutes. I just want to bring you up to date. Monica's gonna give you the P&Ls for December, but I'm gonna bring you up to date to the minute. You have to date sold 13,880 tickets versus last year, 12,680 tickets. So you're doing good there. Financially, to the minute, we are up to 177,697 versus last year. Kudos to you. $151,467. We are $53,000 away from breaking even, okay? However, we still have 2 months to go. Typically, in the summertime, we bring in about $4,000 a month, which is $28,000. So we're doing good. We're still gonna lose the $50,000 that we planned on losing, because we're not making ticket prices. We didn't go way high, but we changed them. So financially, we should make the budget figure of income that we did. And if we don't make it, we're gonna be really close.
Well, I'd rather lose 50 than 100.
Right, which is why you made that decision.
Yes.
I would like to ask the committee if March 19th or March 21st is a good date for my season approval meeting. I don't know if you all have your calendars here. It's a Tuesday or a Thursday, any time of the day is fine.
What were those dates, Abby?
March 19 or 21.
The 19th is a Wednesday, the 20th is Thursday.
It should be a Tuesday and a Thursday.
It's Tuesday and a Thursday.
March, I have March 19th as being,
This year?
It's a Tuesday, Joyce.
St. Patrick's Day is Sunday.
2024,
I'm
June.
sorry.
Are you in the wrong year?
Yeah, I
I think we should try for March 19th.
March 19th, 1 o'clock.
Yes,
fine.
Okay.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Tuesday
Tuesday.
at 1 PM. Perfect. If you all don't have tickets for tonight's show, please get them. You will be overwhelmed with excitement. Fausto, thank you.
I've been calling
It's
everyone.
really great.
Is he a juggler?
No.
No,
tell
fantastic.
Joe?
White guys singing Motown music.
They are fantastic.
They're
I've
really
seen them.
fantastic.
I'm sure they are.
Abby, I've seen them on YouTube, they're marvelous.
I'm still waiting for Fluffy.
Fluffy. Every time I hear his name, I think of you.
I think he would do quite well in here,
Yeah.
especially with the Hispanic
Yeah.
community.
With the
Mexicans.
with the $1 million guarantee.
Well,
Remind me what Fluffy is? What's Fluffy?
he's a comedian.
Oh,
He's a Mexican.
He only
comedian.
works arenas. He doesn't even work performing arts centers. He's big.
big tag.
He's like
Big
Sebastian
tag.
Maniscalco.
Okay. I'm
Anything
thinking
for
of
me?
a rabbit or something, a puppet.
No,
Thank you all. See you in March.
thank you, Ed.
Okay, I don't
It's all yours.
engineer here, so yes, I'll go ahead
Well,
and.
I just want to say, Dan just got word that our engineer has just contacted us to say that he's got COVID, so he will not be coming.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I'd rather him, he said that he would go over the phone, but I'd rather him be here. So I'd rather just reschedule this, okay? So that
That's
we-
perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
and, this isn't such a big topic, I want him here, because he has all the answers, we don't, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Smart, Dan.
All right, having said that, we'll go over the financial reports. The first report is your statement of operations, and this is for the month of November, which is the first month of our new budget year. For the month of November, we had $487,000 in total revenues, and we had budgeted $489. So we're only off the budget $1,000. For your expenses, the actual expenses were $518,000. We had budgeted $523, so we're $4,800 under our budgeted expenses. So our net loss for the month was $31,000, and our net loss projected was $35,000. So it's a positive surplus of $3,700. For your social activities, we collected $15,439 for your theater income. And between your theater dances and movies, we paid $20,199. So we have a loss for the month of November of $4,760, and we had budgeted a loss of $8,084. So again, we have a positive surplus of $3,324. Any questions? Okay. The next report is your cash balances. As of November 30th, our total operating funds were $825,000. Our improvements in infrastructure reserve funds, as well as our windstorm, reserve funds are separated from your operating funds. So our windstorm deductible reserves are at $578,000, and our contingency infrastructure reserves are at $75,468. Our total reserve funds, $654,000, and our total cash on hand, $1,479,000. Any questions? Okay. The next report, as Abby alluded to, is your December social activities report. During the month of December, there were 2,650 tickets sold. That also included, you'll see there in the middle of the page, 497 tickets that were sold for free, or given away, I should say, for the holiday concert. We collected $25,721 in revenue, and when you deduct our audience view cost and our sales tax, our net sales, $22,637. And we paid the performers $23,750, so we have a loss of $1,100 for the month. For your Friday night dances, there were 5 Friday night dances, including your New Year's Eve dance. 1,051 people attended your dances. We collected $7,683 for your New Year's Eve dance, which was terrific, and we paid the performer $2,200. So we had a profit on the New Year's Eve dance of $4,600. Excuse me. For your movies during the month, and also including New Year's Eve, there were 820 people that attended the movies. We had a one-time showing on New Year's Eve of the movie called New Year's Eve, where 97 people attended the movie. All of your movies other than that one are $321 per showing, and that one movie was $214. So we spent $1,498 for movies. So when you combine your theater, dances, and movies for the month, we had a net profit of $657. The next report, and I'm sorry I'll have to turn this sideways, is the revenue collected from guests. This is also through December. Resident box office sales, $53,361. Box office sales to guests, $14,598. What that translates into is, there's $3 extra added to a guest ticket for on top of a resident ticket. So that resulted out of the $14,598 in guest tickets sold. That resulted in an additional $2,829 in what we classify as guest revenue. Guest passes that were sold in the ID office amounted to $5,169. Guest passes sold in the staff office, another $2,039. So for the 2 months ended December 31, revenue generated from guests, $10,037. The final report I have today is your estoppel results. This is also through December. In December, there were 41 units that were sold in this community as compared to the December in 2022, where 46 units were sold. For the 2 months, it's a decrease of 27 units over the previous year, or a 27% increase. We keep talking about that the number of units turning over has been declining, and we generally think it's because there's very little inventory anymore. But in Boca and in Boca and in Pembroke Pines, we're seeing a big increase in inventory all of a sudden. And I don't know that we're going to experience that here. I do believe in those 2 communities, it is because a lot of people are selling and leaving South Florida. Because every building in those 2 communities are 4 stories and higher, so they're subject to the post-Surfside legislation with all the reserve requirements, and they have such tremendous increases, in addition to the insurance increases in the condominiums, that people are saying they can't afford to live in the condos anymore, and they're putting their units up for sale.
Where did it go?
They're going out of state. Yeah, they're headed, all over the place, I suppose. So I don't expect that to happen here like it has there, because, you have very few buildings here. I forget how many that are 4-story or more.
29, right? How many 3 or 4 story buildings? 26, 29?
29.
Wellington and Southampton.
Yeah.
Greenbrier,
Greenbrier.
Southampton,
Dover.
Dover.
Well,
All right, in case there are any questions for me, that wraps it up. Oh, sorry. Yes,
I
sir.
understand that the state of Florida is changing the estoppel rules.
Yes, that's in the works, but that's only condominium associations and homeowners associations. It doesn't affect us.
It doesn't affect us.
No, not WPRF.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I know the legislature's trying to eliminate them so that it pushes those costs back ultimately on the unit owners because the property management companies will not continue to provide estoppels free of charge, so they're just gonna pass it right back to,
Not an expense.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mhm.
They don't see the benefit of the estoppel.
Well,
Because if you
oftentimes
sell the
it
property and
results
it's
in
owed
them-
money, then you're out the money.
That's exactly right. That's the whole purpose of the estoppel is if the association is due money or WPRF is due money, you're able to collect that money at the closing, with the use of estoppel through the title company.
If they use it like that.
If, yeah.
That's,
So that's it for me if there's nothing else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Dan, men's showers.
I wanted to, unfortunately, we had to reschedule this thing because I really wanted to go through that.
Okay.
There's so much details that he has to explain to you, and I know you had a lot of questions on it. I prefer him
Yeah,
being here since he was
that's
the
fine.
contact person with all the contractors, okay?
It's not a problem.
Okay, the men's shower, okay, remember we had a sinkhole in there?
Yes.
That's all been filled in. At this point right now, they're doing all the plumbing. They have saw cutted all the areas, okay, removed all the cast iron to the point where they reached a certain point of the PVC that was on there. So right now, they're doing the cast iron, installing the plumbing on all the toilet fixtures and the showers at this point. Yeah, there will be a downtime time period in the Hastings locker rooms for the strobes and light to be installed. Okay, and then an inspection sometime next week. We will let you know when that day will be closed. We don't have to really close it for the installation. Maybe the women's we do, but until we have the fire department come and check it, we'll have to close it for that day to be able to get to both of those without a problem, you know, and testing the alarms. But that would be the final of everything.
Okay.
We were just notified.
Yes,
We were just notified that we can move forward.
it just took that long to get that permit in.
I was at Hastings last week, and I went to the ladies' room, and I was very impressed with how beautiful it looks in there. Nice and bright and airy, and everything is new.
I would live in your
Very
sauna.
nice.
I would live in your sauna. Your sauna is really beautiful.
The women's sauna it is beautiful.
It's a really nice looking sauna. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
I took a
look
around,
yeah.
it was really very, very impressive.
Well, good. I hope everyone thinks it was worth the wait.
As long as it's open, they're calm now.
Well, I think the worst part was people saying things that were not true.
Yeah.
It's always the case.
You know, like I said, things, there's always different codes that come up, there's different, look how long this permit came for just for the fire, okay? We've been living in that particular environment with those strobes, okay, for over 20-some years now, okay, since they've been renovated. And now the new code requirements require these more homes, more strobes, okay, in these facilities. So it's just something that was not, we don't want to put it out there because it just costs you more money. But in the long term, we did get caught with it, and then you put the permit in, and it takes a long time to process this thing compared to 3-4 years ago. You know, and that's in every aspect of building right now. So if you're going through this in your condos and even renovations, it just takes time, you know, to do the permit construction. I have to give credit to West Palm Beach, even though I've been working with them for a long time, with Doug Weiss here, the building department. They work with us at least, you know, to move things along, considering what I go through in Pembroke Pines, which is a different animal completely, you know. But, so I have a lot more connections and more pull here in West Palm Beach, when, as you do, okay, with the you know, the different, with water and everything else, and sewer, which you work with the same people we do. It's good pull between the Boca and the West Palm Beach facilities to be able to communicate. But it's moving along pretty good. I don't have, unless you have any other questions.
All right, I will, it's not on here, but I just wanted to say that finally got a date. We have a project where we're trying to finish up putting pavers around the pools. We have 2 pools left. We have Kent Pool and the Guest Pool. So it was in our budget to get the Kent Pool done. And we were just given a date that they're gonna start on Monday, which we've tried to do a blast to let people know. And it won't be the 4 feet that it normally is, it's gonna be 8 feet because we had that many cracks in the pool deck. So this way it's gonna take care of a lot of that and there'll be less maintenance.
Definitely enforce this area.
Either if you send that notice out, we'll get it to our communications person and.
That'll be Asia?
Already done.
All right,
Yes.
okay.
Things are already done.
Well, we're trying.
On that back canal, everything's
You
working
wanna
out.
do an update? Why don't you do an update on the?
South Canal.
Yeah, South Canal, as you know, the South Canal is due to be dredged jointly by UCO and by D.R. Horton and Coulter Land. Where we're at now is the survey work is nearly complete. There is 1 parcel that needs to be land cleared, and we have engaged a company to do that. It's just too juggly for them to get in there. So moving forward slowly, and next step I would say is once the surveyor's report is done, then we'll get an engineering report, a survey from Simmons and White, and RFP, the whole 9 yards. So moving along. Thank you.
I kept the budget or the agenda light because I thought it was going to be a much longer meeting because of John Brown and the roof and the questions and information. So I really, at this point, unless anybody has anything for me, to,
One question. How much, is there anything detrimental to the roof that would need immediate attention? Do we have a major leak someplace, or is it just the wear and tear and the age of the roof that is causing it to be replaced?
We had continuous leaks everywhere on the flat roofs, okay? Plus, if you go look at it right now, I'm more concerned about the.
Is your mic on?
No.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned, I was showing Eva that I wanted the parapet wall to divide inside there. If you look up there now, they're very moldy, okay? And most of our leaks come where the shingles meet that area. Plus the flat roof also, where it meets the shingle areas where we've had problems in the past. And that's also where we had a person fall through with the wood being so rotted in certain sections there. So when we tear this thing up apart, we'll probably see some stuff underneath there that needs to be removed, for sure, or new plywood, because it's, like I said, that area that they just put their foot right straight through it, And that's not the area where they fell through the roof over here, or through the drop ceiling. It's actually the roof up on top.
So it's something that needs quite,
Yes,
we need to take care of it.
Definitely, I think
Okay.
it's to your benefit to take care of this as soon as
Right.
possible.
Right.
Yeah.
No problem.
Especially with the flat roof with the new air conditioning.
So we'll bring this person in next month for the same meeting.
Yeah, or we could have a special meeting over at your place, one or the other. I'd like to get it, whatever's convenient for you,
I would like to have it presented in front of the whole committee,
Yeah.
rather than just the
Yeah.
officer. So if we have to have a special meeting, fine. We'll call for a special meeting.
I think that would be a good idea because we want to do this roof before the rainy season comes. And then we have to go for the permit process and
We're in the
Yes.
rainy season.
so it seems.
The permit's gonna take some time, to
Right.
get through, so.
Yes.
So we want to get a jump on it, and absolutely, so if we can call a special meeting, I'll reach out when he lets us know when he's available, and I'll reach out to everybody and bring everybody back together. Anything else?
Anything, yes, Maureen?
The dumpster that's been parked over here by the indoor pool, is that gonna stay there forever? It's such an eyesore.
I'll look at that to get that
It's a
removed.
small one, and it's been there for like ever, it seems like.
They'll put,
months.
they'll paint flowers on it.
It really is, is it you? I do know. It's like an eyesore.
It's parked in the parking
Well, they
lot.
haven't taken it yet.
They have the parking spot also.
Alright. Okay.
I'm just curious.
They're working on it.
I keep forgetting to ask.
Well,
I see your hand, John.
We're still working, but I'll look. I'll look
That is
into it.
where the debris is going from the main clubhouse men's
Locker room.
shower locker room area. And since that work is still in progress, that is why that is there. So, and it's there for so long because, as you know, we never expected to find what we found under the floors. And so that took a lot of extra work and change order and, so yeah.
That was a lot smaller than the one that we had on the other
Right,
side, and you
right.
didn't say anything
I
about
was
the
drawing a blanket first, yeah.
Yeah, it just is like almost there.
Yeah.
John, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I'd asked you a week or so ago about investigating the possibility of a sound system in meeting room A.
Yes, we're gonna be talking to Steve Cohen to figure out what would work the best and get us a price. I have no idea what kind of price we're talking about, and that we would then present it, for the next budget year. So,
Yes, sir, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sure.
It was either that or you were asking for a drink, I wasn't sure which.
No.
Here you go, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Herb Cohn. I live in 51 Somerset C, right across the pool, right across the golf course. I'm here to talk to a very important thing to all of you regarding health, to the community, and especially for everybody. I am the president of the largest cancer institution in the world. We have big researches in all aspects in cancer. I live over here, and I know about cancer very much. God forbid, never should anybody know what's going on out there, but it's terrible. We have a beautiful state here, beautiful sun, but we deal with skin cancer, especially in Florida. And the skin cancer rate is very, very high, especially in Florida. What we do a lot basically to inform people how to watch and not to get cancer to the first stages, whatever not, would help them. Because the research is very high on cancer today. One of the things that helped to reduce cancer, skin cancer, especially in Florida, and especially around the pool, and especially around the Gulf area, which is documented very much, is bushes and trees. I don't know if you know about it, but it's documented all over that you need bushes and you need trees to prevent the cancer from these skins. This is a traveling skin cancer. You don't notify it right away, but it takes a while, and once you hit it, it goes very, very bad. What I see, minimum 50 to 60 new patients on every week. I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to talk to you a very important thing. Whatever we could do for prevention, we must do. Now, I live across the street of the pool over here. All pools basically have trees, bushes around the pool area, and whatever. This public pool in Somerset Sea doesn't have anything out there. I know the financial situation is not too good and put more burden, as I heard now a financial report, I know what it is. But we are here not to put you a burden on it and not to scare you about skin cancer, God forbid. We're here to help and try to put the prevention as much as possible and to anticipate financially whatever could be done. I'm here to you today to ask you and beg you, please take it in real consideration. Somerset Pool doesn't have any bushes and any trees around the pool area. Why? I don't know. I live already almost 7 years over here, and I appreciate if you give me an answer. And I'm here to help, and to help prevent whatever we could do in this matter. Especially, not talking about the noise that's going on there in the Gulf area, in the pool area, but with bushes you can help that to lower that noise. That's not so important. Cancer, God forbid, I don't want to scare anybody, is the worst sickness that's going around. Please take it in consideration. It's a responsibility for Eurocode to keep lives and healthy lives. I'm here to help you whatever we could, physically, financially, whatever has to be done to implement these bushes, especially in the Somerset section. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Okay, so Mr. Cohen, if I may, I'm Eva Rashevsky and I run the rec facilities here. And you asked a question and I do have an answer for you, and that is why there are no bushes around the Somerset pool. So they were actually removed. We're removing all the bushes around all the pools. Number one, it opens it up to the breezes, but number two, because we've had numerous incidents at the pools that required, in some instances, police intervention, certainly our own security here in the village. When you've got bushes that hide the pool deck, things can happen and a passerby will miss it. When you open up the decks, the security rovers that drive by are able to look and see, check into things, and also, if we had to, bring in the police. So we are not planting bushes at any of the pools. That has not been the plan. We've been doing the reverse, and that is why.
Okay, a good answer, but if you do the fence, something on the fence all over, it prevents you from cancer, from the sun, from bringing cancer. Show you proven records all over, all magazines and legal that could help bring down the cancer a lot. So if you have a problem with somebody hiding around the bushes, very clear, I understand that. So do it on the fence. There's a big fence there. Do it beautiful, whatever you have to do. But that prevents you from helping people want to live, and live long and healthy long, living. Have mercy on them, and not to ignore this problem. This is a serious, serious problem. I've been traveling a lot the world, and I see what's going on. And skin cancer in Florida is the highest risk today, and you know it. So please, I understand very much what you're saying, but people hide behind the bushes because accidents were going to happen, or we could do something different on it. Or we have to use our minds, put together. This is a health issue problem, a very important problem. I'm 27 years in that field for charity. I don't do this for my work. I run the biggest payroll service throughout the in Brooklyn. But I did this for charity. You can look it up. rccscancer.org, and I'm the president of it. And I'm the founder of it. 27 years ago, I founded this organization as a charity organization. Coming over here and seeing that there's no anything to prevent it, I don't think it's wrong. With all due respect, it's something to think about. Nobody knows, and nobody could prevent themselves as much, but we have to do what we have to do. This is a serious, serious problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Richard?
Does Somerset Sea have an awning, a plastic awning like as in Hastings Pool?
Yes, all of our pool areas have awnings, metal awnings.
Okay, thank you.
And then we also have added umbrellas.
Okay.
But listen, that's problematic as the sun arcs through the sky, so you have to move your chair to follow the shade. But we do have the awnings.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Is this the open part of the meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. My name is Beth Sahusky. I'm over at Sussex H, I'm on the board also. I was at the assembly meeting and I was inquiring about the estoppel bills, and I was redirected over here. And I was wondering, because I'm kind of new and finding my way around the village and so forth, is or does WPRF ever use their influence as a political body to petition or to write on the behalf of the residents here when issues like the estoppel bill come up before the Senate and the state? I understand, I could be mistaken, but everything I've read is that the estoppel is now going to be the financial responsibility of the board. And in essence, the board has no monetary gains in the sale of any of the units. The board just needs to protect, like you had said, Monica, about the financial interest in not only what's owed to us, but also to WPRF. And I'm just wondering if this is anything that you've ever done before.
Eva, can I jump on that one? 'Cause I
You
think-
absolutely can.
Hi, Bess. As we discussed earlier, here in Century Village, estoppel rights belong to the original developer and his manager, WPRF.
Okay.
So this is actually not an issue for Century Village West Palm boards. You don't do estoppels. So this is not something you or your management company need to worry about, fortunately.
Okay.
And as Monica reported earlier in the meeting, since WPRF is not in a condominium association or an HOA, they wouldn't be subject to this law even if it passed.
So how do we, as boards, make sure we get the money that's owed before the sale of a unit goes up? Or, for instance, in my little association, someone put up a door that was not approved, and we have like, not really a lien, but it's going to have to go before the sale of it, that illegal door be taken down and be brought up to current standards.
Sure, so you want to bring that to your attorney and your property manager, and let them, they would get you in line
Okay.
to get settled up before any, and remember, you control any, not so much conveyance of property, but who resides there, which is a pretty good club, right? So, okay.
The bottom line is, from what I understand, is the responsibility is still, should be on the management company of all condominium associations and homeowners associations to continue to procure estoppels. The problem is that they're not going to be able to collect a fee for that estoppel, which means
They'll charge the association.
Exactly,
for it.
exactly.
Okay,
That's
but
the
it's
problem.
the managing company that prepares the estoppel, not,
Right, because
Okay.
they're the ones that keep your accounting records, and they're the ones that should know, what is due on any given unit in your community.
there's a boatload of stuff to learn living here and
Oh,
every
yeah.
day. And I'm just trying to get myself through the weeds of all of this, so.
Well, you're in the right direction because you're showing up at all these meetings. Keep coming.
Okay, well, thank you.
Did you go to Mark's meeting?
Anything else?
No,
I'll
that's.
entertain a motion if we have no other business.
I move we
Did you go to
adjourn.
Mark Friedman's meeting?
Motion made to adjourn by Richard, seconded by Maureen.
And thank you, everybody, for your willingness to change the date.
Thank you.
Can I also go to the senators?
Yeah, actually, we have 20 years, I found this out, but I go to Mark's. Mark has one tomorrow
I'm
also.
still new, so maybe because I'm not burnt out. Oh, yes, I was. Oh, good.